All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 38 special test. And today we're going to be doing light versus heavy. So for the light, we do have our Federal Punch. That one is the 120 grain plus P. There's that one on the left. That one has your nickel plated brass, and that one's rated at 1,000 feet per second. And for our heavy, we do have our Buffalo Bore. That one is the 158 grain lead semi-wad cutter hollow point. That one is also a plus P. Does have just your standard brass case on that. And that one is also rated at 1,000 feet per second. So we'll see how close we come today in this snubby. So we'll be using our Taurus Ultralight Model 85. That one does have a 2-inch barrel. And we'll be going through our gel. That is a 10% block. We do have our catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front. Like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how these rounds do head to head. First one up will be that Federal Punch. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 902 feet per second. So not too bad for that short barrel. Just about 100 feet per second shy of rated, but still not too bad. So let's check out that entry. Looks like you got a pretty good hit on that block. And this one you actually can't see down in that cavity too well because it is a pretty small hole. It looks like you have a decent star pattern so far. So let's see if we can see it from the top. Yeah, not too bad at all. Definitely not the biggest. It's a lot different than those last tests we did, but not too bad at all. Looks like it did flatline pretty quickly, and we actually did make it into that second block. So that's pretty impressive. So let's see if we can get a measurement on this one. At our widest spot, let's see. So it might be a little bit tough. So it looks like we are right at 1.5 inches. So not too bad at all from the top. So let's check it out from the side. Oh yeah, same thing from the side. So it looks like as soon as this one came in, probably that 1/4 inch mark, started opening up, dumping a little bit of energy. It looks like it carried it about halfway through that block, and then it did start to flatline pretty quick, and then you can see that round down in that second block. So let's see our measurement from the side. So it looks like that one is just over 1.5 inches, so a little bit wider from the side. So not too bad at all. And then there is that round resting in that second block, and that one did make it. Its leading edge 2.25 inches. So we made it 13.25 inches of total penetration on that. So not too bad at all. So let's set up for that Buffalo Bore and see how that one does. All right, we're still back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so impact velocity on that one was 1,077 feet per second. So that thing was flying. So definitely overrated. Normally when we do test those, we get quite a bit more than 1,000. So really good to see there. All right, so there is that impact. Looks like we got another good shot on this one. And this one you can kind of see down in that cavity. That one did have a really deep hollow point cavity, so it kind of tore that gel up. And then pretty good star pattern so far. So from the top, oh yeah, this one's definitely a little bit more impressive. Quite a bit of damage here at the beginning. Looks like it carried that energy pretty far. and then it did start to settle down towards the end, and then we did make it into that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we got on this one. So remember that last one was about 1.5 inches. This one is just over 2.5 inches, so quite a bit more there. So really impressive for that round. So let's see from the side. And same thing from the side. Hopefully the camera's picking this up. Our lighting's a little bit different now. But as soon as that thing came in, pretty much started opening up immediately and dumping quite a bit of energy, you know, through about half of that block. And then it did start to settle down a little bit, and then we did make it into that second block. So at our widest spot here, we are at, let's see, about man, this one's tough to see. Probably about 2 1/8 inches, so not as much from the side, but still pretty good. And then there that round is, it is that one there on the top. So it looks like at our leading edge, we are at 1 3/4 inches. So that's 12 3/4 inches of total penetration on that. So pretty impressive. Normally, you know, those 158s do travel a little bit more, but I have a feeling this one opened up pretty wide. So let's check them out one more time from the top. So the one on the right is that Federal Punch, and the one on the left is that Buffalo Bore. So here is that punch. So that one came in, opened up pretty good, dumping all its energy right there towards the beginning, and then it did start to settle down towards the end of that block, and then it is resting in that second block. And for a Buffalo Bore, same thing. That one came in. Looks like it took a little bit longer to actually open up, but when it did, man, it was dumping energy. Nice good star pattern going on, good spiral cuts pretty much all the way through, and then it did start to settle down. And that one is also resting in that second block. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both got some really good expansion, and that is definitely really good to see, especially with that little snubby. So the one on the right is that punch, one on the left is that Buffalo Bore. So here is that Federal Punch. That one got some picture perfect uniform expansion on that. You can see those petals just peeled right back. There's a little bit of that cotton t-shirt stuff down that hollow point cavity. But man, that is awesome to see there. I have tested this in the past. It's been a really long time. But you know, it did great then too. So definitely a good option for that little snubby. Man, that is picture perfect. And same thing for that Buffalo Bore. This one never fails. But check that out. That one got some major expansion. Huge mushrooming on that one. Just peeled those right back. Guess it's not really petals, just kind of peeled it all the way back. And you can see that gas check right at the base. But man, that thing had some really good expansion too. So awesome to see there. And that thing was moving out. So one time from the bottom. So one on the right is that punch, one on the left is that Buffalo Bore. But man, some really good expansion. And last time from the top. So like always, we'll get our still shots and slow-mo and all that good stuff here at the end. But there we go. That one was Federal Punch 120 grain plus P versus Buffalo Bore 158 grain lead semi wad cutter hollow points. There we go, guys. Thanks for watching. I did forget to mention when I do carry that snubby, which isn't all the time, but you know, I do occasionally, and I do usually have it stuffed with that Buffalo Bore. It does have some pretty stout recoil, but definitely worth it for those results. But there we go, guys. Thanks for watching. All right, so here's that cross section for that Federal Punch. You can see this one has a pretty nice star pattern, pretty decent. Definitely a lot smaller than some of these rounds that we've been testing lately. I did remeasure these, and they're right at 1.5 inches, and I believe that's what we measured out there. So pretty good to see there. So let's cut it open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right, this top is the left. You can see pretty much as soon as that one came in, right at that 1/4 inch mark, started opening up right away. There's a little bit of cotton t-shirt that it drug in, but it, you know, definitely made a pretty decent stretch cavity for that round. Truthfully, I'm surprised it actually even opened up. I've tested it before. It usually does great, but I've also tested it where it doesn't open, so it was really good to see there. But pretty decent splits. It's the same on this top. You can see came in, opened up, dumping a little bit more of that cotton t-shirt and creating just a nice decent track all the way through. So not too bad at all. That one was 100 feet per second less than advertised, but you know, still pretty good for that short barrel. So there we go. There was that Federal Punch. All right, and here's that cross section for that buffalo bore. This one definitely did a little bit more damage than that last one. You can see those nice, perfect kind of star cuts going on in there. And that one had a huge hollow point cavity, so you can still see it kind of traveling through. But same on this side, nice wide splits. I did remeasure these, and we are right at about 2.5 inches. So definitely good to see for that 38. That thing was pushing over 400 foot-pounds, so that one's definitely keeping up with some of the, you know, even the hottest 9mm. So really good to see. So let's cut it open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right, this top is the left. So you can see pretty much as soon as this one came in, I guess it was a little bit more delayed than the last one, right on that 1/2 inch mark where it came in, started opening up. You can see some nice splitting going on so far. There was a little bit of that cotton t-shirt that it drug in on this side, but some pretty decent cuts for sure. And same on this top, a little bit more distinct. You can see actually where it started opening right there, and then, you know, drug all the way through and got a nice stretch cavity. This side does have quite a bit more of that cotton t-shirt that it did drag in. Kind of expected though, because that hollow point cavity is really huge on it. But we got a pretty decent amount of damage on this one, and that thing was moving out pretty good, especially for being in that little snubby. So there's one more little quick angle just so you guys can see what's really going on. But you can see those nice wide splits down in there and a lot of that t-shirt. And we didn't shed any type of weight on that one, so it's good to see that that one actually held together. I have tested it before where it did shed kind of the whole outer ring, the whole, you know, mushroom part, and it was basically just like a core or slug that went through. But good to see that it held together. So there we go. That one was at 158 grain plus P buffalo bore.